key and algorithm. The key we already have, which is symmetric key, and then algorithm. What kind of algorithm we going to use? Algorithm, security algorithms dot. I'm going to use here HMAC 256 signature algorithm. Okay. Alright, so I think we are almost there to generate the key now. So now just take this one, pass it here. So now what we did, so we have the claims data, and we have who is the issuer, audience, all those kind of data, and we have the signature, this algorithm to sign the key. So now let's go ahead and run this application and see what we're going to get out of this. Alright, let's do this. Send. See this one. So what we received is actual how the data looks like. So if we haven't sending the token, how people should use, others use it. Right now, if you see that it has a claims data, and see that issuer is my site, and it has that it has expiration date, and it has a username, it has that audience, who is the audience, and also it has payload. So when what we talked about before, which is keeping the signature, what kind of algorithm we're going to use. This is the encoder, header, payload, and this has the algorithm. See that it's using 256. So this has all the raw data, how this is using all this data together, combined, and then finally it will send the token to the user. So that's the next step you're going to do. So let's minimize this and go back to our application. The one step we haven't done yet is to send the token, send the proper token to the user. So now we're going to create actual token. Stop this. Variable. I'm going to change this as a token, and we're going to create token string equal to new JWT security token handler. So what we created is JWT security token. Now we're going to using security token handler to convert this token actual raw data into base 64 the token value. Write token. You send this token inside. So this will have the three parts, which is this will have the actual token string. The first part will be will have the header information. The second part is the claims and all those kind of data. Third part is that signature value. Let's go ahead and run this. Okay, good. Send. See, now we received the actual token. If you see this token, there are three parts. See, this is the first part. This ends in dot. This part is the header information. The second part has the claims data, which includes audience, which includes that username and all those kind of data. Third part is the signature details. Okay, so now we are done with our token authentication. What we're missing is we are sending you admin and username, but we never use this value. So let's make few changes to the code to use this value. close this one. Here I'm gonna check here is if request dot header. Okay, hold on. Before that, variable header equal to request dot headers. So I need to get the authorization value. So here if you click the headers, this is what I need to get, authorization, which will have the basic value. So then we can get from the basic, this base64 value, we will get the username and password to verify in our database to check that whether this user and password is valid or not. If they are valid, we create the token and return back to them. Okay, so just here pass headers, and we copy this value. Rather than copy type. Authorization. Okay, here so we'll have a headers. Now we need to get verify header has start with basic or not. That's the first step we need to do. If you see that, it's sending the basic, so we need to check whether this has a basic. If the basic is not there, then we are going to send them back, says that we don't trust this data, or we cannot verify this request. If this is there, then open, close, we'll do all this step. If this not there, then we say return, or we can do one thing. Return bad request. Okay, and then we'll say something wrong. Okay, and then close. Okay, so the next step is, now we know header has a basic. Now we need to get the username and password. So now variable cred value equal to headers dot, we need to get the substring of we don't need basic. After the basic we need that string, and then we convert that base64 string into a regular text value, which will have a username and password. Dot rem. So now, right, okay, now we have a cred value which is base64, that this string, we'll have this string now. From this string we need to get the username and password. Okay, cred username and encrypted value. Okay, correct value. So we need to get this convert into encoding. We need to this is in base64, so we need to convert that base64 to regular value. So to do that, we're going to do that encoding dot utf 8 dot from get string of convert dot from base64 string, which is cred values. Okay, so this should have username and pass encrypted which will have that username password together. So then next step is we need to get split. So usually what this will have is, this will have the value of something like this: admin colon pass. So but we need to split this value to get the value, and so to do that, user name and pass. Okay, and then I'm gonna say username. The name is very confusing, but ignore this for now. When you develop, you spend time to put proper naming. Okay, so this will, so we display it. Now next step is, now we have username password, and here I'm going to check username password. This is where we're going to check against database whether username password exists in database or not. So here we're going to, instead of this is, we can check in the DB username and pass exists. Okay, here instead of DB, I'm directly calling username pass of 0 equal to admin, and username pass of 1 equal to pass. Then we do this. Okay, alright, so there's one more things here. We hard-coded the username. Instead of that, I'm going to pass this username pass of 0. Let's run this and verify this working or not. Okay, right, go back here. I'm going to send this. It's working. So what if I change this to something else? Let's see. See, it's got the wrong request. So if we send the right username password, we send back the proper token. So now we have the token. So the main part is done. Now the API is done. Actually, the API is done for anybody to use this token authentication. They can use this API for their token. And so what is the next step? The next step is who is going to consume this token, and to verify if the token is correct, they can use it. They can let the user to go ahead and proceed with their application. So for first thing, what I'm going to do is here I'm going to say authorize. All right. The moment I say authorize, this application, if anyone accesses this API / value / any kind of method, they don't get any results back. So because it's not authenticated anymore. So now we have the token. So how the user going to send the token to next step is, each time they request any values, they should send the token to us. That's called bearer token. Okay, I'm going to run this one to show that authorize is working or not. See, now you got the error. Before it was showing some kind of value. Now it says some kind of error, says that it's not working anymore. Okay. Alright, so let's, even if I go to API, the Postman, and run this, you don't get that result back anymore. Okay. So what we have to do next step is, we're gonna create a method, few lines of code to verify the token which user going to send. So how the user going to send? So it's the token created for 1 minute. They just copy this, and then each request they send bearer token, and they should pass this value. Oh. Copy. Okay, and then they should send this. So right now it doesn't work. That's the code we're going to develop now. Okay, so in this configure, so if you go to the startup, there's a section called configure.